Okay, we are live.
Hi
Hello.
everyone.
Please let us know when you can see us.
And
Hello,
hear
hello,
us.
everyone. Yes.
Yes, more
Hear us,
important.
see us, everything. Okay. I see people.
Hi
Hi,
Somdatta.
Shaurya.
Hi
Hi,
Kuldeep.
hi, Somdatta. Hi,
Hello.
Mihir. Hi, Priyadarshini. Okay. I don't know if it's lagging. I hope you guys can see us and hear us.
Hi
Mm.
Shrishti.
Okay, hi Shrishti. Okay, I'm assuming that you guys can hear us. So let's
Yes.
start. Okay, welcome to the live discussion of the Bookbound Club, and we're going to be discussing The Stationery Shop of Tehran by Marjan Kamali. Now, this live show is going to be divided into a few sections. So, first, we're going to have the non spoilery section where, for those of you who haven't read the book, we'll just talk about a few things about what we liked, didn't like, but there will be no spoilers in that section. Then we're going to play a fun game with you guys that also will be non spoiler. So, if you guys saw our community tab posts, basically, we're going to be playing Password, which is a game that we played here on Fandom Newbie during the BookTube Game of Games week that we had with Sonali, Smriti, and Avdut. So, you guys are going to get a chance to actually come on the live show with us and we are going to play with you. So we'll explain to you how you can do that once it happens. But we are really, really excited. We're trying this for the first time and we're super excited to actually get you guys on the show and like talk to you guys. So that is happening. Then, of course, we're going to have the entire discussion about the book, and that will be full of spoilers. And at the end, we'll have the giveaway quiz for
Drum roll.
Project
Sorry, I was late.
Project Hail Mary. Oh no, the book is not here. Project
Yay!
Hail
It's there.
Mary by Andy Weir, which, if you guys don't know, is also our next Bookbound Club book pick. So basically, we are giving away the book that all of us are going to read next for the Bookbound Club. So the quiz is at the end. The quiz is going to be based on the Stationery Shop of Tehran. So if you've read the book, then you guys definitely have the advantage of answering all the quiz questions correctly. But that will happen at the end. So stay tuned for that. We have a lot of fun stuff happening. It's probably going to be another long live show. But okay, let's let's get started. You guys know Meera and you guys know Sonali already. Um, but let's just get started with the first non-spoilery section. So overall, I'll just start with Meera. What did you think of the Stationery Shop of Tehran? What were your overall thoughts about the book? And maybe you can also give like just a brief summary of what the book is about, and then um, you can talk about what you thought about the book.
Okay, so the book is a historical fiction which is set against the backdrop of a political conflict in Iran, which happened in 1953. And it's a love story which spans many decades. So we get this holistic view of the lives of many characters and how their social, cultural, and political views and opinions really molded their life, their choices, and how many a times love, respect, and relationships, there's so much to it that these multiple layers are explored in this book, and you get a very heartwarming, heartrending story about all of this in the Stationery Shop of Tehran. So, first of all, the thing that stood out to me and what I loved the most in this book is how melodious the author's writing is. I feel like if it weren't for Marjan Kamali's writing prowess, I would have probably reacted differently to several aspects of this book, because when I think about it now, there wasn't any point in time in the book while I was reading it that I felt like, this could have been different or I didn't like it. I just have such a wonderful view of the entire book because of how it was written. To me, it felt like literally someone was narrating the story to me, and so I was so much more invested in all of their storylines, which in turn led me to being emotionally connected to the characters. So the writing style, her flair for writing is what I love the most about this book. And if I were to, I mean, I can't think of anything that I dislike in the book. I just wish that these characters had better support systems in their life, because through exploring all of their storylines, the author very convincingly shows you how, each person's life is not just their own, because any small instance in a person's life can have like an impact of a very big magnitude on someone else's. So I just wish, they had better understanding of agency and autonomy and what choices they could take in their life, and they lived in a much better time. So that's just what I wished for these characters. I don't have anything to say about what I didn't like about the book.
Sonali, what about you?
Um, See, throughout the book, I was just clutching my heart like this because every single time Roya, it's so angsty also, right? Right from the beginning to the very end. It's not just what all happens throughout the plot. It's just the love itself is really angsty because of the situation that it developed in. Like Mira said, the political situation, the Iranian political situation was so. It's not that it was just so. What do you call it? That word. Yeah, it was full of conflict. It was conflicted in that time also, but it was not just then. It was an ongoing process. So even if the love story had developed in a different way, it would probably have been as angsty as when it did not develop in this particular way. So in whatever way I was reading the book, even if I was thinking of it like I wish it were completely different, it was still the same. The pain that I felt the character's pain like too much. So
Hmm.
even if I was like, yeah, I wish that this hadn't happened. No, it's the same thing. So yeah, that's what I remember the most about reading this book because of the angst factor, the absolute hold that the characters have over each other, and like they don't have. Okay, this is going veering off into spoiler section, so I won't say anything else. But yeah, so that's what I loved about this book, that it's so heartwarming and heart wrenching at the same time, that you can, even in the direst of times, you can count on love to make your life easier. Even if it's a tad bit easier, it's going to be there for you. And hope, love gives you hope of a dream for a better life. So I think that was what pulled me into the story and held me there. As to what I didn't like, there's not much I did not like, so I can't comment on it without again getting spoilery. So those were my thoughts about, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with both of you completely. I mean, what both of you said is exactly what I also loved about it. I think for me, it was definitely the writing that I loved about the most in this book. It was so, like, for me it was very, very atmospheric. Like, she literally transports you into the streets of Iran, of
Correct.
Tehran, or like she transports you into these people's houses with like everything about the way she describes senses. So whether it's smells or whether it's sounds or whether it's touch, like, every single sense is like ignited through her writing, and that's what I absolutely loved about it. I could smell everything they were cooking. I could smell, like, the sounds of the market. I could, like, everything. And that's, I mean, it was an extremely immersive experience for me.
Agree.
Yes, yes, Shrishti, exactly. The smell of the melons.
Right?
Why does it
Like,
come back to smell?
Descriptive.
oh,
And not
so
even like
descriptive.
descriptive overboard, but like perfectly descriptive.
Correct. Exactly. Like, I don't think
Atmospheric
I
is
have
the right
ever,
word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think I have ever, like, wanted to have melons this much in my life. Like, like whatever I felt after reading this book. Like, seriously. So that was what I enjoyed the most about this book. Just like
Hmm.
the way it transports you into the lives of these people.
True.
And I actually listened to this on Storytel for the on the I listened to the
Same.
audio book, and
Hmm.
I think that also like really helped with the immersive experience, because the narrator was really good for this. I
Hmm.
loved the way she narrated the book. So yeah, it was really really good. And I don't really have anything that I didn't like. I mean, again, I'll have to go into spoilers for like the small bits here and there
Correct.
that I
Yeah.
didn't like about the story. But those are just very minor. I mean, like, it's based on characters rather than actual like
Hmm.
plot or whatever. So that actually we'll have to get to the spoilery section to discuss. But let's just see the comments before we move on. Oh, Smriti is here. Hello, Smriti.
Hi.
Ah, yes.
Hi,
Hi.
Smriti.
Haven't read the too much dard.
Too much.
Oh,
Yes.
so much dard. It's
That's
like
true.
borrodifying your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yes. There is dard in this book.
too much.
Yeah. Um, uh, Siri has said nostalgia kind of feel. I agree. It does have, in a strange way, because it's not like it's about our past, or it's not
Correct.
like it's about our like history or anything, but I don't know, it does give a nostalgic feel.
Hmm.
Mm.
Not even the
uh,
Darde Disco. It's more of
what?
Jag Suna Suna
Sorry.
variety, man. Not Darde Disco. It's Jag Suna Suna lage.
Okay, Neerja
Too
said too
much.
much pain of the characters made it quite a heavy read. What do you guys think?
I agree. But then again, the
That's
language
the
is
thing.
easy.
Hmm.
So you can fly through it, but in order to embrace what the author is saying, the emotions make it a heavy read. That way, story wise, it is heavy, uh, but you can read it pretty soon. So
Yeah.
it's
I
both
feel
ways.
like I didn't find it to be a heavy read in terms of just like it wasn't an overwhelming or difficult to digest because of the topics that it deals with. I just feel like
Hmm.
it's like a decadent read, it's got that
Hmm.
richness to it. So that's how I feel about it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Mm. So I feel like it's something. I feel like it's something I would read when it's raining outside and I have, yes, completely. Cup of tea or
Replace tea with
coffee.
coffee, and I'm
Yeah.
100% in. Yes, yes, I
Exactly.
agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
Coffee.
Yes,
Completely.
yeah. Let's say a cup of beverage
Mm.
that works for
Yeah.
everyone.
Cup of beverage.
That does not sound right, actually. But okay, you got my point. Okay.
Okay. So, oh, Shishti has a very interesting thing about at the backdrop of
Yeah.
the ongoing Taliban issue, it hit quite hard.
Hmm.
I
That's
think,
true.
yeah, it does. And for me, actually, personally, I had just read Persepolis before reading this book. So I read Persepolis, which is a graphic novel that's also
Hmm.
based on the
Hmm.
entire history of Iran, basically.
Correct.
So I read that and then immediately dived into this book after. So it was actually a very, very interesting experience for me because Persepolis talks about 1979 and onwards in terms of what happens in Iran, whereas this book talks focuses more on the political turmoil of the 50s, so
Hmm.
1953. So I got to see
Hmm.
like two stories from like different perspectives and like one historical fiction, one kind of like an autobiography. So it was really, really interesting for me to get that. Have you guys read Persepolis?
I have.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
loved it. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
something else. I actually just
Correct.
before I finished reading Stationery Shop of Tehran, I was reading Embroideries, another graphic novel by Marjan Satrapi, and I
Oh,
went like, yeah, I went like I'm supposed to be reading a book by one Marjan. I'm reading a book by
yeah.
another Marjan. So I went, but it was interesting
Yeah.
because embroideries is about this group of Iranian women sitting in their living room discussing their lives. I think it's set in early 90s. So to see
Right.
and they're telling their stories about how the politics affected them, how their lives, it's not just about their lives currently, they're sharing stories about their past lives, about
Right.
how politics affected them, their love lives, their sex lives, their the stories about their men. So it was to go back and forth between it. It was great. So I
Yeah.
totally understand how you must have felt when you read Persepolis and then came to Stationery Shop of Tehran. It's even more
Correct.
immersive. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay, before we move on to the game, just last thoughts in our non-spoiler section, because a lot of people always ask in comments and stuff, would you guys say that this is a book that is good for beginners? So, Sonali, maybe you can start. What do you think?
I would not recommend it for absolute beginners.
Hmm.
I, maybe advanced level of beginners, not intermediate level also, but absolute
Hmm.
beginners should not start with this book because there's quite a lot that's going on in here that needs you to process it and will probably not make it an enjoyable experience for you. You can read it. It's not that beginners can't read it, but maybe once you have read a few books, maybe then come
Yeah.
to this one. That's my take on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's like the first ever book you should pick up if you want to
Yes,
start reading.
exactly.
But I
Mhm.
don't think the language is super duper difficult or too flowery or too like it's easy enough to understand in terms of
Yes.
the language. But
Hmm.
yeah,
Mm.
there is just a lot that is going on in the book that if it's the first few books that you pick up, you you might not get
Enjoy
into
it.
it. And anyway, I feel historical fiction as a genre is always a
Like that.
bit more on the advanced like side in terms of
Spectrum.
its like even if the writing is easy, like very easy to understand, just historical fiction, it's usually a heavier subject,
Correct.
slightly more slower build, more
Hmm.
character development, which I don't know if a beginner will appreciate fully.
Agree.
What about you, Mira?
I would actually say intermediate because
Hmm.
of the topics that it deals with. And I feel like that may, if you're not used to reading fiction, if you're not used to reading books with such heavy themes, then that may put you off exploring more fictional books. So
Hmm.
not just intermediate, but on the flip side, if you are someone who doesn't read books a lot, but you are interested in sociopolitical events of the world, then maybe it's something you may be interested in. But yeah, go into it knowing that it's not something that's very simple to absorb.
That's true.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
correct. I agree. Okay, so with that said, we are done with our non spoilery discussion. But people who have not read the book, don't go away just now. You can stay on because we are going to now play Password. Okay, so this is the first time we are trying this, where we are going to give you guys a chance to come on the live show and actually play the game with us. We've not tried this before, so we apologize if there are any technical glitches during this process, because this is the first time we are doing this and trying this out. I really hope that there are no technical glitches. But basically, before I tell you how you guys can come on, let me just explain the rules of the game. So this was played in my booktube game of games videos that are there on my channel. If you guys have already watched that video, then you know how to play the game. But if you guys haven't watched it, basically, one of you will come on the show with us, and we will be giving you a one word clue to guess the password, which will be related to the romance genre. So these are all passwords related to romance and books. So, like love stories, romance books, basically anything within the romance genre. So that's your like biggest hint. So these are passwords related to the romance genre, and you will come on and around. I mean, we'll do a few of these depending on how much time we have. But one person will get up to three chances to guess the password. So basically, one of us will give the clue. If you get it right in the first go, that's awesome. Very, I mean, there's no point system or anything for this. Just that's that's great. You guys guess the password. But if you don't guess it, then we'll give you another clue. If you don't guess it again, we'll give you the third clue. And then, of course, we will also chat with you for a little bit, and you guys get to be on the show and speak with us whatever you like to speak. But just remember, don't give any spoilers for the book, because this is still the non-spoilery section, and there are people on the show who have not read the Stationery Shop of Tehran. So you can speak anything you want with us. Just do not say any spoilers about the book. Please, please, please follow these rules. Do not say any spoilers about the book. I will mute you if you start saying spoilers. Basically, I have the power to do
we
that.
don't
And
we
then
don't do spoilers here. Yes.
correct. No spoilers
Yes.
about the book, but you can, of course, we will have a chat with you. Okay, so now to just give me 1 second, and I'll give you guys the option to come on the show. Just 1 minute, hold on. Mm. Meera and Sonali, maybe you guys can take any comments or anything till I just do this. Mm.
Someone was
So
talking about,
basically, oh, sorry,
sorry.
sorry. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Someone was talking about, Asiri was talking about the shop's description, and I felt that, yeah, she says the shop's description was so precise that I felt like I was Roya, and I was the one who was reading the book and living inside the shop of Tehran. And that is so true because you have this particular layout for the stationery shop of that Mr. Fakri runs, and it's so. I felt like I was there, and I agree 100% with her. It's
Yeah.
given in detail about everything. Like you go here, you have these pencils and notebooks and whatnot. You go there, you have these translations, philosophy books on philosophy and whatnot. So I'm like I I forgot about that particular point actually. Another
Yeah.
indication to my fish
Yes.
memory. So yeah. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think so
Oh,
too, because that brings up the whole that nostalgia effect of how quaint there will be bookshops, more frequently than there are these days, and how those were the source of inspiration and
Yes.
literature and knowledge for so many people to go to these little bookshops and have pick up books and so on. So that really does stand out.
yeah, exactly. I
Agree.
loved that actually. I loved the whole like mom and pop vibe, like mom and pop store vibe of the book. And I loved also, like, I mean, I was talking about this with someone on Instagram actually, about how now, like, the whole culture of being in those like quaint bookstores where the owner knows everything about the store and like shows you what book to buy and like actually gives you personalized recommendations.
Yes.
That
Hmm.
culture is dying altogether. And this like stationery shop gave those vibes, which was like just really old school and like, I don't know, just like
Hmm.
heartwarming and nostalgic. Like
Yeah.
someone said that this
Yeah.
had like nostalgic vibes. That's what
Yeah.
this was, like,
Exactly.
nostalgic. So
Agree.
okay, so I have now, okay, so everyone who's on the live stream, I have added the link to come on the live stream in the description. So if you check the description box, there is a link which says link to join the live stream. If you would like to come on and play password with us, just click on that link, and then I we will choose basically one person randomly to come on first and speak to us. So if you guys would like to come on the live stream and talk to us, just click on that link. It should work.
Yes.
If there is not able to see the link,
Yeah.
1 minute.
Shaurya says not there.
It's not
Okay,
there.
hold on. Let me check if it's there or not there.
Says not there.
It's there. I can see it. It's right here.
Yeah.
Link to join the live stream.
Hmm.
Maybe
You guys
refresh
will
the
you guys
page.
will have to refresh the what you're watching. So
Yeah.
refresh this page what you're watching and you should be able to see it. Just refresh this page and then you should be able to see it. Correct. Yeah. Close this video and come back and you should be able to see the link. And we'll wait until there is anyone who wants to join and play with us.
We are so
Come on,
excited
guys.
for
It'll be
this.
fun. Join
Exactly.
Yes.
us.
We want to talk to you.
That password game was so much fun. This is going to be
I
like,
know.
yeah.
Exactly.
For one of these, I'll say cash breaker. Okay, Shruti?
I am still very angry that you didn't get it.
Dude, it was Snape and cash breaker. I would never associate anyone with Snape, leave alone cash breaker. Like this
But you got
amazing
it in the
character.
end. You got it
Yeah,
in the
three
end.
tries later. But it's okay.
So all the
Okay, we
videos were so
have.
much fun.
It was fun
Yes.
doing it. Like,
We need a season 2. Come on, guys.
Yes.
we can do this.
Okay. The first one we have is Shaurya. So I'm going to add you now to the stream. Hi, Shaurya.
Hi, Shaurya.
Hi, Shaurya.
Hi. My
Hi.
heart's going pitter patter, pitter patter.
That's
Do you
okay.
want to? Do you want to switch on your camera, or it's okay if you don't want to?
Not really. It's dark
Okay.
here and the lights are off.
No
That's
worries.
cool.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's
No
cool.
worries. So, okay, we are going to start with the first word. So, who wants to go first, Sonali or Meera?
Password.
So,
Mira, you want to
remember,
go?
all these
Either
are
way.
romance themed. Okay,
Yeah.
Meera, you go first.
I'll take the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, Shaurya, are you ready? I'm going to say one
Yes.
word and you try to guess the
And you
password.
have
I've been
20
reading a lot of
seconds.
romance books lately.
Very good.
Perfect.
Very good.
That
You
will
have
help.
20
Yeah.
seconds. You have 20 seconds to guess. If
Let me know when to
Okay.
start.
I put on the calculator by mistake. Sorry. Okay.
No, you
Okay.
tell it and then he will have 20 seconds to guess.
Correct. Yes.
That's
So
okay. After
Mira.
I say it, the timer starts. Cool, cool.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm going
yeah.
for it. Shaurya,
Okay.
the clue is
Okay.
lovers.
Enemies to
Lovers.
lovers, friends to lovers, boyfriend, girlfriend.
No.
It's like a term.
No, no, no.
Just
Okay,
Okay,
one
it's
so
word.
one
it's
word.
a one. It's just one word. So
It's not a phrase.
it's not a phrase. It's not a
Okay.
book. It's nothing. Okay, wait, wait,
Lovers,
wait, wait. Done,
friends.
done, done, done. Wait, 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 wait. Done, 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 done.
Shaurya!
So, one guess. One guess. You get one guess.
Go for it, Shaurya. Lovers. Think
Uh,
lovers.
Okay, I'll give you. I'll give you.
soulmates,
No, no.
married
Okay, wait,
people.
wait, 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 wait. Now you get
Okay.
your second clue. You get your second clue now.
Okay.
Sonali will give you your second clue.
It's the same word.
For
No,
the
no,
same
it's the same
password,
for
yeah.
the same
Okay.
password. The same password, you will get your second clue. And remember, it's just one word. Okay.
And remember to
Sonali.
bring everything together, whatever you heard
Yeah,
about that word, okay?
Yeah.
correct. So connect
Okay.
what Meera says to what Sonali will say now.
Okay?
Okay. Ready? And
Two.
start.
Two.
Yeah.
Two lovers. Okay. Two couples. No, two.
Yes!
Acha.
The word
Okay.
is there.
Couples. Okay.
Yes! Yes!
Yeah.
You got
Correct!
it.
I'm
You got
feeling
it.
dumb now. It was so simple.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's not that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In the first round to get it is not that easy.
Yeah.
But
true.
yay! Thank you
That
so
was
much,
fun.
Shaurya. If you have
Bye.
anything, if you have
Thank you
anything you
for
want to,
Yes.
having me here.
yeah, if you have anything you want to say, the stage is yours now.
Okay, one thing. There's this really underrated book. I read it.
Yeah,
That was the last book I read. If you like The Fault in Our Stars, read
yeah.
A Short History of the Girl Next Door by Jared Reck.
I'm
Okay, there's
going through
a
Amazon.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's really cheap. It's just 200 something.
Nice.
Just
The
read that book
short
if you like
history
Fault in
of,
Our Stars.
The
you
short
said
A
history
the
of
short
short history
history, of the girl next door.
of the girl next
Found
door.
it.
Okay,
Nice.
noted.
We'll check it out.
We will check it out.
like
Thank
literally
you
on
so
Amazon.
much.
Okay, thank you
Thank
for
you.
having me here.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank you,
suggesting.
Shaurya.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
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 Okay.
Hey, that went great.
Yay!
Yes.
That was awesome. Okay, great. All right. Now, the next person we have is Vismiti. So I'm going to add you now to this stream, Vismiti, and you can
Yeah,
unmute yourself.
Bye.
yeah.
Hello. Hi,
Hi.
Vismiti. You can also
How
switch
are
on your
you?
camera if you want to.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I just thought that I wasn't supposed to. So,
No, no, no.
yeah.
You
No,
can. You
no, you
can.
can, of course.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
No, no.
How are you?
Hi.
I'm
So nice to
very
see
good.
you.
So
I mean,
nice to
I've got
see you.
exams coming up, so I'm kind of preparing for that. I'm done with it, but yeah, I mean, my love for books is more than how much I want to study
Oh
for exam,
no.
right?
Oh,
All of us. We all
all the
feel that
Yes,
best.
on a molecular level.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the best.
All the best
All the best
for your
Thank you.
for
exams.
Yeah,
your
good luck.
exams. Okay. So, again, remember the password is going to be one word, and it is like it's basically about romance, everything related to romance.
Okay.
Okay, and it's one word. Okay, so this time, Sonali, you give the clue.
I think I know which one.
Wait,
Wait.
wait, wait, wait. Hold on. Let me just. I'll write it for you in the private chat. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. 3. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sonali's thinking.
I think she just said that she knew, and now she's thinking it's.
No, no. I'm thinking if that is the right way to go about it. So, yeah. Okay. The clue is Writing.
Okay.
Letters.
And go.
She got it. Yes.
You got it!
Oh God.
Yes,
The timer hasn't even started. You got it.
Before the timer.
exactly.
I mean, the first thing that came to my mind was letters. You think about it,
You
it's
got
also
it. Awesome.
So good.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
That
Okay.
was
Again, the
awesome.
stage is yours if you want to say anything to us before you
Um,
go.
Not much. I mean, I
If there's
really
any.
didn't prepare anything that I wanted to say specifically, but yeah, it's great being here. I mean, I've never had this sort of chance before, so it
Oh,
feels really good. Well, thank you.
awesome.
So
Thank you
nice
so
to
We,
much,
have you here.
Vismiti.
yes,
So
Yeah.
nice
we
to
are.
have you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Good luck.
Oh,
Oh.
all the best
Okay,
for your
now we
exams.
have one more. Okay, so Sonal,
Shruti,
I'm going to. Sorry.
enter the password in the. Okay, deal anyway. Cool, cool.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
Sonal, I'm going to add you now to the stream. So, hello. Hi,
Hi.
Sonal.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm so excited to see you finally.
We are excited to have
Yes,
you as well.
exactly. We are
Yes.
so excited to
Start
have you.
with Shruti. Hi, Sonali. Hi, Meera.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay. So, again, same thing. One word. And wait, let me just give the password. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, so it's one word related to romance. Okay, Meera, you start first with your clue.
Cool. I'm going for it.
Meera?
So,
Okay,
Sonal, the
okay.
clue
Yes.
is split.
And go.
Yes.
Oh, she was
Yes! Yay!
Yes, she
Yay.
got
Awesome,
it.
awesome, awesome.
Oh my god, I look forward to
I
these
think
meetups.
I
Every
know.
few days we have this.
Great. We also
That
look
was
forward
awesome.
to, yeah, we also look forward to these and to connect with all of you.
Okay.
And especially now we can do
Yeah.
this, which
Fun.
is more fun.
Yeah.
So, thank you. Thank you for coming on, Sonal.
Wait.
I freeze?
Di-
Who's stuck?
I think Shruti's.
Did I
Yeah.
freeze?
This
Yeah.
I
time it
think
was
me. I
Shruti.
think I'm stuck. Yeah. Am I okay now?
Yeah.
Walls.
Okay.
You were,
Am I
huh?
okay now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Cool. Okay, Ishita, I'm going to add you now to the stream. If you'd like, you can switch on your camera and you can unmute yourself. Ishita?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hello?
Hey, Shita.
We can't
Okay.
hear you.
We can't hear you. I think maybe something is wrong.
We can neither hear you nor see you. I mean, it's okay if you don't
Yeah.
want to come on camera, but yeah.
No, I think maybe there's something wrong with her mic. Okay, we'll let you try to fix what is going on. Oh wait, I
Am I
think.
audible?
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Now we can hear you.
Hi.
Hello, hi
Hello,
Ishita.
hello, hello.
Yes. Okay, I think we can hear
I'm
an
sorry I
echo,
won't
but
be able to open my camera.
That's
that's
okay.
okay. That's
That's
fine. That's
completely
fine.
fine.
Ain't no
Yeah.
worries.
Okay, so again, one word. Uh, let's see if you.
Sonali is speaking this, right? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, should we start? Should I
Yeah.
give the
Yes,
clue?
I'm ready.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. The one word clue is app.
It's related to romance, right?
Yes.
Tinder?
Yes. And
Yes.
start.
Yes, she got it. Good one. Good job.
Yay,
That's
good
awesome.
one.
Like the first thing that came into
Awesome.
my mind was Tinder.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's always in
exactly.
the books.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
Yeah, that also.
So, yeah, again, if
oh
there's anything you'd like to say, Ishita,
Yeah,
before
I
you
would like
go.
to tell all the ones who
Yeah.
are seeing this right now, if they haven't read the stationery shop, they should definitely read this. It's fantastic. Everyone will love it.
Yes.
agree.
Listen to
100%.
Ishita.
I do agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Thank you
thank you
so
for
much,
including
Ishita.
me.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
Yeah.
coming.
Thank
So nice
you.
to have you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 Have a great evening.
Okay, so this is the last one, and we are going to add Isiri. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. You can tell us what the correct pronunciation is when I add
Yes.
you. Hello.
Hi.
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 Yeah.
How are you?
Hi.
I'm doing fine. And my pronunciation is right. You pronounce it right.
It's right? Okay,
Actually, I'm
good.
the first person who's pronouncing it right. Everyone is like,
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
very good. Okay, can
nice.
I just tell you before we go? You remind me of the actress that plays Inej in Shadow and Bone.
Amita Suman. Yes.
Amita
That was
Suman.
right.
Yeah,
You
I know
really
her.
remind me of her.
She's a Nepali. Yeah, I know her.
Yes.
Yeah. You look like her. So okay,
Yes.
great. Let's do the last one.
Yes.
So again, it's one word
Mira's
and
taking
it's
this, so
about
I'm
romance.
pretty.
Okay. Mira, you start with this one.
Cool. So these passwords, listen, this is not a spoiler, but these passwords can be hyphenated. I have to mention this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no way to get it. Okay,
This is
Isri.
yeah, so this is a
So the clue
hyphenated
is,
word. We'll give you that clue.
yeah,
Yeah, because this is difficult.
the clue is
Hmm.
misfortune.
Misfortune. Like,
And
is it breakup? No.
kind of.
You
Okay,
have to
wait. You have one more clue. Okay.
wait. I
Um,
myself am racking my brain. Wait.
So
mm,
sorry, ICD. I think this is the most difficult one that we chose.
Yes.
This word.
Yeah.
mm,
um,
uh,
We can use words we've used before as hints, right?
Yeah, you
yeah.
can. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes, you can.
So I'm going to give
Sonali,
you a
go for the next
hint.
clue. Yeah.
Yeah. The hint is lovers.
lovers?
Yeah. Take combine everything that you've heard and
My God.
Mm,
Breakup, lovers, Tinder, then
no. In for
what?
this particular word, for this particular
no, no,
For this
just these
password,
two
password,
words.
just these two. What Mira
Yeah.
what
said?
I said and which one?
Yeah.
Misfortune and lovers. Just
You can do this.
Yes,
you
you can do
have?
it.
You
Yes.
can do this.
I think, are you
I think
frozen?
she's frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aishwarya, are you there?
ICD.
Hello.
Are you?
Hello.
Are you?
I think she, I thought it was my internet again, but no. Mm, are you there? Can you hear us?
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
no, I
internet
think
problem.
your internet, yeah, internet problem. Okay, so sorry, ICD, but maybe we can play with everyone else on the chat for this one.
yes.
Yeah,
If
someone in the
you,
chat guess.
yeah, someone in the chat, maybe you can guess. So the two clues so far have been misfortune and lovers. Anyone in the chat? Try to guess. Is it? So it's a one-word password about romance, and your clues are misfortune and lover. Yes. Yes, Rahul and noob readers, you guys got it. It is star-crossed. Yay! But oh, you guys
Baby,
have really good guesses.
Shaurya, Shaurya, baby.
That went on a whole other tangent.
We do not have the capacity to discuss something of that level right now.
Oh,
Oh
Aisri
no.
says she said that.
Oh
Aww.
no.
Oh, damn it.
Okay.
So Aisri was
So you
So
did
yes.
get it
Yay,
right
got it
we
first.
correct.
got
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
Awesome.
Awesome.
But, yeah,
That is
Oh, that was so much fun.
exactly.
I love this segment now.
I'm never going to
Yes.
forget Shaurya's answer
Baby.
for
Baby.
this. Never. Misfortune.
Misfortune.
Plus lovers.
But love. Oh god.
Okay, cool.
But yeah. Yay, this was so much fun. It was so nice meeting all of you. We will definitely be doing more segments like this in later shows for Bookbound Club. So stay tuned for that. One more for people chatting, please. We have run out of
Should we?
passwords.
Yes,
Okay, if we can think,
actually.
Yeah.
yeah, if we can think of one on the fly, but
Wait.
otherwise,
Let's do a phrase, not
wait.
just yeah, like one password for a phrase, like just 2 words.
Oh, two
You
words.
remember what
Okay.
I was saying earlier? Wait,
Type, no?
yeah, that's what I was doing.
Private.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is two words. This is two words,
Yes.
and yeah, this is difficult. But okay. This is two words, and the password is the first one.
Oh, I love this.
Okay, the password is first. The password is first. And remember, it's a two-word phrase. Is
Shit, you
anyone
can't
guessing?
use the word in that.
Yeah.
I have a second clue in mind already.
You do?
Yeah.
First. Any guesses for first? Pehla pyar. It's two words, and no, it's not first love. It's not first love. Okay, Meera,
love.
give the second clue.
Yes, please.
Meera, give the second clue.
Okay, guys, keep that in context. The second clue is cafe.
So first and cafe.
I feel like only seasoned romance readers may guess this.
Exactly. This is for your hardcore romance fans. First and cafe.
There are 2 words, Shaurya.
Yeah, and
In
first is
the
not
phrase.
not
Yeah.
a word in the password.
Yeah.
First is not there. So there are two words, and first is not there.
Okay. Should I give another clue?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, okay. Last clue.
Yeah. Is the third and last clue for this is introduction.
First, cafe, and introduction.
Bring it all together.
Hardcore romance fans.
Mocha
This is hardcore romance fans. Use your brains. It's hardcore. Yes, Rahul has got it. It is meet cute. It is meet cute. So meet cute is when it's like the first time you meet someone, basically.
The two main characters
The
in a
two main
romance novel
characters, the
meet.
first time when
Yeah,
they meet each other is a meet
yeah.
cute. Coffee with boyfriend.
Why is this inspired by Karan Johar or
Coffee with
something?
Karan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same.
Imagine a
Oh,
gossip session with a boyfriend in a coffee with Karan setting.
oh my god. Your boyfriend playing rapid fire with you.
we we are
How much do
asking
you
our
rate me?
boyfriend.
How much do you rate me? From 1 to
Two.
10.
Oh,
Oh god.
okay, that was fun. That was actually fun.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Awesome. Okay. So now we are going to move on to the spoilery section where we're going to be discussing the stationery shop of Tehran. So, people who have not read this book, you can leave this stream because we are going to be jumping into a lot of spoilers. We're going to be talking in depth about the book, everything about characters, plot, just about everything. So if you have not read the book, please feel free to leave this and come back and watch this on YouTube once you guys have read the book. So this is your spoiler warning. Spoilers. Okay, so let's start with the first thing that we want to talk about, which is what did you guys think about Roya and Bahman's journey from their teenage selves to the present? So what did you think about um the love story in general? And all of you guys in the chat, also please let us know what you guys thought. So because of course we'll be pulling up your comments and discussing what you guys say as well. So this is not just a discussion between the three of us, it is a discussion with you guys as well. So please join in the discussion. So yes, we'll start maybe with Sonali. What did you think of their love story between
Yeah.
Roya and Bahman?
It was a little. I felt it was a little like predictable in the first, like when she goes to meet him at the senior center, and then I was like, okay, it's going to be another of those things. But then that was just for that one chapter, like, um, and then when it actually jumped in and it brought in all of those political connotations as well, because Baman is a very politically motivated guy, and he says that we cannot afford to not be political, especially in a country as charged as Iran in during those times, because there's a lot going on at that time. And to see how Roya deals with his political activism, it was good, especially because they are teenagers. And to see teenagers that politically involved, it's a
Hmm.
little it's nice because especially when we are looking at it from this time and age, teenagers need to be more politically involved, but during that time it was even more essential, and it was like a norm for teenagers to be a part of the bigger revolution, or affiliated to a political party or anything like that. And uh, to see Roya and Baman form that bond despite everything that's happening, and to even to a certain extent Roya's family and Baman bonding over that particular love for the prime minister, it was heartwarming to see. And I really did not expect how their love story became over the decades. I mean, of course we know that there is a particular reason why uh, Baman left and Roya was left standing over there. And during maybe the first 20-30%, I got an inkling that this is going to be because of a political reason. But it was that plus also a different political reason. It was more on a politics, which was being played out in the background, which neither of them knew about. So to see that particular bond that they had to last that many decades, it was really heartwarming. But it also made me think that, is it even possible? I thought that maybe because this is fiction, I am able to consume it without any judgment, without thinking that how is this even possible. But if it were in real life, it does not happen that often. I feel personal, it's my personal opinion. I feel that way. And yeah, maybe I lived a different life because of both of them during the entirety of this book. So their journey in itself was something else. I really enjoyed it. I felt their pain, I felt their angst. I also learned a lot about the Iranian political situation. So that's something. And
Hmm.
I don't think there are many books that do this, like as with politics as a background, to handle this with delicacy, and to see it mapped out together. I don't think many books do it in the way that this book did, especially with the lyrical writing. So
Hmm.
that's my take about their journey.
Yeah. Mira?
When I think of both of these characters, I find Roya's journey to be so much more heartbreaking because over the course of the book, the many times that she's been devastated and repeatedly having to create this protective shield around her, and then something comes along and maybe she starts hoping for things to be better, and she brings that down only to be hurt again. So all of
Hmm.
that made me empathize with her a lot more. I just feel like who Roya was as a teenage self and who she is 60 years into the future, there is a very distinctive connection between like these two different identities, right? And you can make out, because something that I'm always concerned with when authors use time leap is to not form a connection between the past and the present selves of the characters, right? Because when there's so
Hmm.
much that happens behind the scenes that we as readers don't get to know about, it can be difficult to match up these two people as being the same person. But
Right.
the
Hmm.
way story is written, I feel like it makes complete sense who Roya is in 2013. And the way that is shown, sporadically, the little instances that as a reader you may actually find insignificant. There were certain scenes that you may think about like, why are being told about this, but all of those little minute instances make who she is in 2013. And so that is what I feel about Roya's journey. Like, it makes complete sense. I felt like empathetic towards her.
Oh
Oh,
shit. Yeah, I think she'll join back soon. Let's.
should we?
Oh, there.
Ah,
Hello.
she's here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. My internet is acting up. I don't know. Sorry. Continue.
Chale. No, so that's one thing about her, Roya's identity, like, the past and the present selves. And also something, the way she was with Bahman as a teenager, right? Uh, that presents a completely different picture, I feel like. And when you see her with Walter, that relationship is so unlike what she had with Bahman. And it's not something I would have pictured for her at all, because of who she was as a teenager. But it was very interesting to read about, because I feel like Walter and Roya, even though there isn't that passion and that fire or that thrill of being in a relationship, you don't see that with Walter and Roya, but it has a refreshing take on romance in itself, right? Because we all have different ideas about love and relationship, and to me Walter and Roya represent just having someone who is a support system for you, having someone who lean on, right? Not necessarily someone from a romantic relationship point of view. So that's something that I found very interesting, because a lot of books really go above and beyond to give you that happily ever after. But the author doesn't do that in the case of Roya and Walter. She just lets them be who they are, which is very unlike what you see in romance books. So that's something I found very interesting. And with regards to Bahman, even though the glimpses of him we get are through the letters that he writes and the few chapters that are from his point of view, I just feel like it would have been great if we got a little bit more glimpse of how he got married. Because in the entire book, something that really comes across about Bahman is how he's been referred to repeatedly as the boy who will change the world, right? But it's really unfortunate that he's unable to change his own life. Like, he just goes with the flow of everything that's happening. There were many instances where I felt like he could have put his foot down, taken charge of his life, because of someone who, I mean, it takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of determination to be politically involved in a country's, scenario, which is so volatile, so unpredictable. But that teenage self of Bahman, he has that in him. Like, he's ready to set aside whatever it takes to make sure that the prime minister is the one who continues in power, to make sure that the people of Iran have that democracy, have that freedom to be who they are, and aren't really suppressed by foreign powers. So Bahman as a teenager has all of that. But then somehow the boy who was going to change the world let the world take control of his life. And so that was something that I found very interesting to, observe and keep track of over the course of the 60 years that we get to, read about them. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what you said is very interesting, Mia, about like, with a lot of authors with time jumps, they don't give the connection. But like here, the passage of time was very like, it didn't seem jarring, basically, when like, when you were jumping 3-4 years in the future, like there was always the connection and you didn't feel um like you didn't feel the disconnect, basically. But what I thought about the book was like, I didn't understand why Roya would, like, I didn't understand why she had such strong feelings for Bahman throughout these 60 years, when like Walter was there in her life, who was like this rock for her. Like, I mean, um I understand the passion that they had when they were younger. I understand, like, it's your first love, and it was like mera pehla pyar adhura reh gaya rifat bhi. Like, I mean, like
Oh
it
my
was
God.
like like
Yes,
like yeah, like it ended very abruptly and she didn't get closure. Am I frozen
Shruti.
again?
Yeah.
Hello.
Somewhat.
Okay, just 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute, guys. You guys continue. I need to try to move, I think, my location.
You're doing the robot.
Sorry. Just give me 1 minute. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to be
No, so
very
I was
still.
saying that, like, I know I can understand why, like, I mean, their love story ended very, very abruptly. And maybe she didn't get closure for the love story, but like when you meet someone as accommodating, as sweet, and as loving as Walter, it was like, why was she still thinking about Bahman? I felt like we didn't get that insight from the author. Like, where, okay, she felt a disconnect with her country. Yes, she always, like, she didn't get to go back to Iran. She missed her parents. But like, for her to have that strong feeling towards the end, I just felt that there was that disconnect is what I saw in the book more. I mean, just because, like what you said, like Walter was her rock, and he was really good. I felt bad for Walter, in fact, when he like
That's
did
true.
everything for her. and she still like had that fire or whatever for Bahman. So I don't know.
I feel
I
like,
really, really liked Walter a lot. I loved his character a lot, and I felt bad
Yeah,
for him.
yeah,
like what Priyadarshini says, she didn't get any closure. She wanted to know why he didn't show up. I guess that's what still links both of them. The fact that neither got to know why exactly their relationship ended the way it did.
and it was such a
Because it,
huge thing in each of their lives, and
yeah,
such a milestone thing in each of their lives. I don't think you can ever
for
get over it or
hmm,
forget uh, anything that happened related to it, especially if it ends in heartbreak. So maybe that's the reason why she was,
hmm, hmm,
stuck on him all this while. Like she just wanted to know why he didn't appear. It's
yeah,
Right.
she had that passion for him, and she wanted to know why that big milestone that could have been achieved with him in her life, maybe when it didn't happen, that's why she had that question, and that's why it haunted her for the entirety of her life, and she just
Yeah.
wanted an answer. And yeah, I don't blame her for, not either of them for not getting over it, because first loves, first relationships, especially when it comes to marriages, uh, I mean engagement and marriages, and it goes away, I mean it does not happen, then those can be pretty harsh on the heart. So
Yeah.
you
it's
carry them with you.
you carry them with you till the end of time, and it doesn't matter if you get answers or don't get answers, but it will always be there with you. And
Yeah.
only Roya uh, had those questions, and in the end, see, when she finally meets him, she's like, I forgive you. It's not like she has held a grudge, she just wanted to know why he didn't turn up. Yeah, Walter
Yeah.
was like
Correct.
amazing, and I
Yeah.
loved that man, but
Yeah.
sometimes you just, I don't think you can help yourself, because
Yeah.
you can't help feeling that way. I mean, it's not like Roya didn't love him. Maybe she
Yeah.
didn't reciprocate fully what he felt for her, but
Yeah.
otherwise, I feel like, yeah, it's that first thing is always going to be there.
Yeah. Which is why I felt bad for Walter a lot,
Yes,
because like he was so accommodating for like
he was.
everything that Roya wanted, like
Yes,
everything. And like she didn't like give back enough, I felt. Like
that's
Jitna
true.
he did for her, I felt like she didn't do that much for him.
Or even show
And
appreciation for how understanding he
Correct.
is.
exactly. So I felt really, really bad for Walter. Like
Hmm.
justice for Walter.
Hashtag justice for
Yeah.
Walter.
Hashtag justice for Walter.
Yeah, I have company now.
Yeah. Okay. But let's just go through some
Yeah.
comments of what people thought. So, Shrishti says, my thoughts notebook vibes, but seemed real as opposed to all lovey dovey fairy tale. I agree. I also got massive notebook vibes from this story. I think it had to. I've not read the book by Nicholas Sparks. I've only watched the
Hmm.
movie, but it did give me like with the love letters, with like your one true love, like throughout life, whatever, and then also like growing old and seeing that lover or whatever, like all those things gave me massive notebook vibes. So yeah, this was
Agree.
and you're right, it I felt like this was notebook but it was better. Like it was,
Much better.
yeah, it was done
Yeah.
exactly what you said, more real.
Yeah, because this for the notebook, the only thing that you see from real life is World War II in the notebook. But here, the conflicts, the political conflicts are spread out. Like you see
Yeah.
Iranian political history throughout from 1953 and also 1979, I think,
79,
78,
yeah.
79. So that it's encapsulated everything. So that's a huge difference, but I get the notebook vibe.
Correct. Yeah,
I get it.
exactly. Um, Pooja says, I loved reading the letters that Paman wrote to Roya. Yes, those were just like, oh, like this.
I love it when there are letters in books.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why Guernsey is one
And
of my favorite books of all
Yes,
time. Ah!
Sonali, one good deed you've done for me.
okay, I have to read that book. I
You
really, really
have
have to
to,
read that
yes,
book.
You have
yes,
to.
please, please do.
So I think there's one more person who loved the letters. Priyadarshini said the letters were the best part of the book as opposed to the time we are
Yes,
living. Yeah, I
yes.
also agree. The
Right.
letters were the most like poetic and like lyrical and just like, oh, so much love.
It was making me go.
I know. Why don't people write letters anymore?
Technology.
Okay.
Yeah, but letters are awesome.
So Vismiti said Walter was a constant in her life who was very supportive, but her thing for Bahman kind of made her compare their relationship or want something close to that. Yeah.
Yeah, agree.
I think it was just the passion that she had with Bahman.
Baman.
Yeah. That was just, I don't know. She found
Hmm.
lacking in Walter.
I
That
understand
connection, maybe.
having a taste of something and wanting that constantly, but then she knew Walter for that entire period before they got married, right? So she knew what they were like together. And you shouldn't get into
Hmm.
something, wanting something else when you know
Yeah.
what it's gonna be.
Correct.
Exactly. That's what. And I felt that when she like says yes to Walter, like, to marry him, she's not over Bahman. Like,
She
she
was doing it
cries.
because she had to.
Yeah, she
Correct.
cries when she has to say yes to him. Like, which is just very strange. Like, you don't, it's as if she was compelled to get married to him, but Walter was
Hmm.
never forcing her. Like, I mean, he was always very respectful of her and her feelings and everything. So I also questioned that. Like, why did she marry Walter in the first place? Like, I mean, like, I don't know.
It did feel like she wanted to get it over with. Like it's
Correct.
like
Yeah.
I've done this, I've studied this much, I'm going to work this much, and then okay,
Correct.
the last thing that I need to tick off my to-do list is getting married. So
Yeah.
he's here, he's a
Exactly.
good guy, so why not?
Exactly.
It felt like that.
Exactly.
That's true.
It,
That's
it,
true.
it
That's
felt
true.
like that. Like,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
here. Exactly what you said.
yeah, yeah.
He's
Banda
there. So
बगल में
I'm,
है, why not?
yeah. Exactly.
Oh, oh yeah.
Aisiri also says, I felt at once like Roya cheated on Walter. Um,
Not exactly.
Not exactly, but I felt throughout the relationship she was
Do you mean when
emotionally,
she exhibited?
Detached.
yeah, she was just emotionally detached
Ah,
throughout the relationship.
That's
But
true. Yeah.
also at the end when she sleeps in the same bed as Bahman. So there,
Yes.
yes,
That's
yes,
like, oh,
she
please,
did.
no. Yeah.
She did, in a way. I agree with you there.
So basically, it
Uh,
like how you want to define cheating
yeah.
depends on that. Yeah.
Again, different levels. But yeah,
Like,
she was she
she's back.
did
Yeah.
that was kind of in the cheating territory. So
She was
yeah.
fangirling over Walter Archer.
Yeah.
Deepa is
Okay.
asking which book did Sonali and Meera mention?
The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society by Mary Ann Schaffer and Annie Barrows. I've said this like 100 times, so it's just here. You can
that
easily
that
access.
That book itself is a mouthful. The Guernsey
It is.
Literary and
And when
Potato Peel Pie Society.
you
Society.
read it, it's a heartful.
I've read it twice. Yes, I was about to say that exact same thing. Yes, it's so good, Shruti. You have to read it,
I will. I will.
It's a hug.
please. It's a hug. Yeah,
I will.
Mira.
I think you guys have said this in a previous live also, when I think someone asked you for
Possibly.
heartwarming book recommendation, and both of you said this.
I
Highly
think, yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
she's
from
read.
Oh, she's read. Awesome. That's my most loved book. Okay. Let's move on now to some other characters. We've spoken about Roya and Bahman, but there were a few other characters that we thought were actually very interesting. And those are Mrs. Aslan, Mr. Fakri, and Zari. So, people are a product of nature versus nurture. And what do you guys think of this versus these three characters who were, I think, the most like, I mean, Mrs. Aslan was kind of painted as the villain. Mr. Fakri, I mean, just had a very, very sad story, I felt. And Zari also, like, she flip flops between being like kind of annoying, but also like just a really good character and just really good for her sister.
true.
So, what do you guys think? Let's start with Mrs. Aslan first.
Okay,
I for one just like I was very very pissed every time she came into the story.
I'm with
But
you.
as we kind of get to her backstory, especially about like her relationship with Ali, Mr. Fakri, and the whole thing about actually having to give herself a forced abortion, and then because of that not being able to have kids, and just like all of that is absolutely horrifying. And I think they did touch upon the whole thing of how like mental health in 1950s
Yeah.
was just not a thing, and nobody like took it seriously about like probably the trauma and just so much that she had to go through, and that's why she was behaving like how she was behaving. But again, what I didn't see, like I can understand her overprotectiveness towards Bahman because of her being like, this is the only child she has. But I didn't understand her hatred towards Roya.
Yeah.
I don't know if the two of you understood. Like I don't know. I understood her need to protect Bahman, but Bahman
Hmm.
was still doing all of the like the protests and whatever on the streets, which she
Hmm.
wasn't stopping him, or which she couldn't stop him from doing. Exactly what you said, Mira. It's like he's the boy who's going to change the world, and he's doing it in one way, which his mother is not interfering in. Like I would feel that someone who's so protective about your child would also
Should
stop you
have.
from like going out on the streets and like protesting when people can literally shoot you.
Yeah.
So there she wasn't interfering, but she was really interfering in his love life, which I thought was like, why did she hate Roya so much? I wish that was explored a little bit more in terms
I
of
feel
Mrs.
like,
Aslan.
whatever I say in the context of this statement about Mrs. Aslan, it's not to condone anything that she or Mr. Fakri did, but it gives you how people work, right? How their minds work and things like that. So she is very protective of her child. That's very evident.
No.
But her dislike of Roya stems from what she's seen about class and hierarchy all her life, right? She thought she had
Right.
something with Ali. It was that convincing. He used to keep
Hmm.
telling her that they'll get married, he'll convince his parents, and so on and so forth. But what ended up happening? So she all her life has held on to the belief that wealth, class is what matters. And so she's not going to let her child go through what she went through, which is why she's always insisting on, him getting married to Shahla. Now, I'm not saying that this was cool, but it makes sense. Like, she's not just like influenced by her own capabilities to think through things, but basically her environment, the environment she's been raised in. She sees things around her, and that shapes her thought process in itself. So it made sense to me, but not to the fact that I was fine with her doing it. I wished that she was able to think a little
Yeah.
more rationally. I wished that someone, or even during her years being married to Mr. Aslan, he had been able to, broach that wound that she had all this time, and maybe heal it to a certain extent, so that she could, move past that incident in her life. Because then all of their lives would have been much more different than what it ended up panning out as. So I could see where she's coming from, but yeah, I wished for things to be different with regards to her.
Yeah. I could understand that. Like I could understand her whole thing about wanting to rise to basically like, I mean, she just wanted to be
Social status.
higher,
Climb
yeah,
the ladder.
higher in society, climb the ladder, yeah, be higher in
Hmm.
society. Um, but my thing is that she married higher, correct? And she got,
Hmm.
I mean, she didn't get the life she wanted because she was still very, very unhappy and still in love with
Hmm.
Mr. Fakri.
Fakri, yeah.
Um, so she didn't get what she wanted, even though she married higher. So is it that she wanted Bahman to marry higher?
Or at the
Like
same
my thing is
level.
like no, my thing is that she married higher and was still unhappy. She couldn't
Hmm.
marry who she loved. So what I didn't understand is like why would then she want her son to marry higher? Because okay, I understand there's no rationality in her thinking, but like
Yeah.
she married higher and was still not happy. So her
Hmm.
son marrying higher, would that guarantee his happiness, or she just wants him to be rich? Like, you know what I mean?
Maybe it's the second one. Maybe
She
she
just
thinks
wants him
that,
to be rich.
yeah, maybe her thinking stems from the fact that when she was not of the same class as Mr. Fakhri, and what he did, obviously, he didn't do right by her during at that time.
Yeah.
That's a given. But when maybe, like we've said this before, we are not condoning what
Yeah.
she did or what she was.
Correct. We're
We're
just
just trying to
discussing.
find reasons. We are
Yeah.
just trying to find reasons why she could have done. So when she had to have an abortion, she
Yeah.
had to do it by herself.
Yeah.
So, is it her thinking that maybe if we are going to stay at this social level, social
Mm.
class, or social status, or if we marry higher, at least that particular thing is not going to happen and it will not affect my son's life like it affected mine.
Right.
Hmm.
Or she's going to get the proper medical care and people
Right.
won't judge me for it. Maybe
Right.
that was her thinking, but either way I feel like she, despite what happened to her, first was with Mr. Fakri, and him not marrying her when he said he would, and then her
Yeah.
having that abortion, and because of that abortion her losing many children, and then having
Yeah.
Baman, and
Yeah.
having to live with such mental health issues. I feel like even if you stripped all of this away, right? I
Yeah.
I feel like she it at some deeper level she was a hateful enough person.
Yeah.
It's not like only these are making her into, they are blowing it out of proportion or something, but I
Yeah.
do think that this strip all of this away, and she's still that, and maybe she wouldn't have gone to these extreme levels, but
Right.
maybe something on these lines could have happened, would have happened even if they weren't there. And
Right.
that's why I don't know. I don't like her character at all. It's very
Yeah.
like obvious, but
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
wanting
I
to
can
climb that.
see what you're saying, because like even in a lot of these scenes with her, right, you can see
Hmm,
that bitterness reflected in the way
exactly.
she
Yes,
speaks.
Yes,
exactly.
Because if it was just a motherly care or protection,
it
she
wouldn't have been
wouldn't
there.
threaten with her life, right? That's something very
Correct.
Correct.
toxic and
It's
extreme.
blackmail. Yeah.
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 Exactly.
Just one thing,
So,
Hmm.
Shruti, that you were talking about, like, whether she'd with her son to marry higher. to marry into a wealthier family.
Yeah.
I think it also connects to the fact that she doesn't believe in marrying for love, right? Because
Yeah.
she thought that she and Ali were in love,
Correct.
and their relationship didn't turn out to be good. So she
Yeah.
just doesn't, believe in that foundation, in the thing that, people who
Correct.
are in love will have like a good relationship or a good married life. So
Correct.
I think
Yeah,
that's
true.
also
That's also there. Which is why
there.
it was really interesting where like Ali, so like Mr. Fakri was like, I didn't get to marry my love, so I want these two to be together so that they can live out their life. So that
Yeah.
there's one person
Exactly.
in one person of that relationship thinks this way, whereas the second
Yeah.
one is like,
Doesn't.
no, like
Completely different. Opposite.
marrying for love is not the way to go.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Yeah.
like marry for money or whatever. There was one comment that Shrishti wrote, which was she was more concerned in climbing the social ladder via high class matrimonial alliances. Hence, she detested Roya. Baman's political adventures weren't a hurdle on that path. I both agree and disagree with this in a way. I agree that yes, she was more worried about climbing the social ladder, but Baman was like, okay, so she wanted him to marry Shahla, who was associated with the Shah. Okay, this is getting into the politics of the era, but like who was associated with the Shah, who was basically build like basically selling off of like selling Iran to Britain and US through oil, basically. Like he was letting the US and UK enter into Iran and like mess with their politics for oil. Now and he didn't really believe in like democracy or whatever. Whereas what Bahman was doing was supporting the Prime Minister Mossadegh. I don't know how to
Mossadegh.
pronounce his name. Mossadegh, yeah, him. So actually, Bahman doing that would not get him anywhere. It would probably get him arrested, probably get him killed, probably have him like go into hiding. So his political adventures would have actually very negatively impacted his life. So, and I'm pretty sure she wanted him to not do that as well, which is why she wanted him to marry Shahla and get associated with the Shah. So that's why I was also wondering, like, I mean, that wasn't explored at all about what she
Ah,
thought about her doing that.
I was gonna ask
Kamali
that. Were
left,
there?
is it?
She said she'll be right back.
Okay, okay.
I don't quite remember, but were there any where she even mentions what he is up to, or like, how he's involved in these rallies and stuff? I don't
She
think there
doesn't.
were
She
any such
doesn't.
scenes.
She just wants she just wants him to get married to Shahla. And we know that Shahla is working, like, I mean, the family is
With the
associated
Shah.
with the Shah. And she wants him to go into oil because that has more money than. So, like, again, her reasoning is money, which is that,
Yeah.
like, go into oil because, like, this political stuff is not going to let you go anywhere. It's not going to give you anything because he wants to go to, like, a newspaper or something, right? Where he wants to write articles or something.
Yeah,
So
journalist. Yeah.
she's like, that's not going to get you money. Go into oil. That's what's going to get you money. So, yeah,
And she ends up having her way. He does work in the oil
correct.
business.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. But, so I feel like I mean, she interfered more in his love life than she did in his political
But was it also
stuff.
because, during those times, at least, however forward we see women and men being during those times, was it because she had that thought somewhere in her mind that politics is a man's thing? And maybe she thought that I
Yeah,
shouldn't
could be.
interfere in whatever he is doing because politics is a man's thing and I would not. Uh,
Could be.
I didn't want to do that.
In a position to
It
comment
could
on.
be that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, could
Because
be. Could
that
be.
perspective was also there, right? Because this was
Yeah,
1953 we are talking about
correct.
in,
Could
in
be. Could
Iran.
be that.
Highly
Could be that
possible.
also. So there was a comment. I don't know where it went, but someone said that they thought that Mr. Fakri was a coward. What do you guys think about that?
To a certain extent, I do agree, but
Same. Even
then
First
I do
again,
half
agree.
of his life, yeah.
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 But then again, yeah, we can't condone what he
Hmm.
did or
Did,
said,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
familial pressure can be a
Yeah.
lot. So I don't understand why he was such a coward, but on the other hand, I can also understand. But then again, he was a man during that time, so it was this whole thing, and he was also affected by how his father treated his uh, when he told him that he wants to marry this girl. He literally
Yeah.
let out a full belly wala laugh, like very um mirthful. He was making fun of the fact that
Sarcastic.
sarcastic laugh that actually Ali or Mr. Fakri really thought that
Yeah.
he could actually marry where he wanted. So maybe that also affected him. But yeah, that either way, whatever it was, whatever the reasoning behind his act was, that yeah, that was cowardly. It was
Cowardly. I agree.
not standing up for uh, someone you love, and to
Yeah.
leave her that way, and especially when they had physical relations. Especially,
Correct.
he should have known all of this, and to do that, that is bad.
Correct. I
And it
agree.
was very entitled also, right? Because
Yeah.
in the moment when he is with her, he doesn't stop to think about consequences, because
Yes,
he keeps telling
Exactly.
her, like, he
exactly.
leads her on, like, I'll tell my family, I'll speak to them, blah
Correct.
blah blah.
Yes,
Like, in
Exactly.
that moment, if he stopped to think and consider whether he,
this
A,
wouldn't
his
have
parents
happened.
would allow, B, was he willing to stand against his parents or not, he doesn't.
Correct.
He just
Yeah.
goes on with it. So that
Correct.
was
Correct.
a very shitty thing to do.
It was.
Exactly.
Agree. It doesn't matter
And
what he did in later on. It's like, I did this bad thing, so I have to redeem myself. That doesn't make the wrong thing right. So, I
correct.
mean,
Yeah.
it's not like Mrs. Aslan was even, I mean,
But
any better for it, because you see, when once Baman got married, in the letter that Baman writes,
Hmm.
he's literally saying that Mrs. Aslan, my mom suddenly became quiet. Like whenever
Yeah.
we are in the same room, she sits in a corner, and she doesn't talk much. She doesn't even her mood swings aren't happening that much. It was like once Mr. Fakri died, Mrs.
Yeah.
Aslan's target was gone, so she didn't know where to direct all her hate to. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
now that Roya was also out of Baman's life, so
Yeah.
that's a little different.
Correct.
You can see how it molded both characters in such different
Exactly.
ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm.
Yeah. Exactly. What about Zari? What did you guys think about her? I had very mixed feelings about Zari.
Me too.
In the
I
beginning,
liked her.
I liked her. She's
Came
like,
to like her.
yeah,
Like, we didn't
after,
start off liking her.
correct. After, like, I mean, Walter, I think, has my full heart. But Zari also is like, was one of my favorite characters in this book.
Hmm.
And in the beginning, I found her a bit like, I, I pushed, like, I mean, I took her, the way that she was dealing with like Roya and Bahman's relationship is one, a feeling of like overprotectedness towards her sister, but also a tinge of jealousy. I felt that like everything is going right for her sister. I don't know. That's how I read it. I don't know if
Yeah.
that is what you guys saw, but yeah. So I saw it as that, and I found that very annoying. I found her extremely like just like always trying to pull Roya down when already like things were bad for her in terms of like she was not getting anything from Bahman, and instead of like making her feel better, she used to make her feel worse.
Yeah.
And
Very
I found that,
pessimistic.
yeah,
Yeah.
extremely pessimistic. And I didn't like that. But
Hmm.
then when they go to the US and when they get married, and especially when like when Roya loses her first child, like she's there for her. Like she is her,
Yes,
like she just like comes in and just like takes charge of everything, and like
correct.
she's like really really there for Roya. And
100%. Yeah.
I loved her then. So like for me, like I started off not liking her, not liking her, liking her, liking her, liking her, and then I really liked her by the end of it. I
Agree.
just thought that she was
Hmm.
amazing. Like, and you could see that she always loved her sister, even though in the beginning the love came out in a very strange way. But like, she was always there to like have her sister's back, and
Hmm.
I liked that about her character a lot. What about you guys? Yeah, Priyadarshini said she's a typical sister. Yeah,
Oh,
probably. Instead of saying she's pessimistic, she was more practical. Yeah, definitely. She was the more realist,
I,
but there was a
I
slight
disagree.
pessimisticness to her.
That's not practicality. When you say like all men are the same, and you see, this was destined to go down right from the very beginning. That's not practicality. That's pessimism. Like that's
Yeah,
seeing the wrong outcome. Like you you are thinking, ki, okay, this event has happened, and you are predicting that it's going to go down the drain right from the very beginning. That's that's being a pessimist. I
yeah.
know I'm one. I recognize her.
But
I feel like
afterwards, she's practical, no?
Afterwards, yeah. Afterwards,
Yeah,
she did. In the beginning,
yeah,
when this whole Roya Baman, she had Yusuf for God's sake. Like
yeah,
when Roya and Baman ka whole thing in the political situation was happening, she's
yeah.
like, she's literally without knowing Baman that well, she's
Correct.
judgmental and pessimistic. But
Very,
of
very,
course,
very.
she sort of her character arc is one of the best
Hmm.
arc. I mean, like as a character, Walter is the best.
Yeah,
You know that right from the very beginning. But Roya, not Roya, sorry, Zari's arc is like it's just an upward curve.
yeah.
So that's what I
Correct.
feel.
What were you saying,
Mira?
Mira?
Yeah, no, I just didn't feel like now that you mention it, there are a couple of instances where I can recognize that she was overtly negative. Like in the instance of when she didn't know Bahman's whereabouts. Maybe, yeah, a more calming and supportive approach would have been better for someone who's already in a fragile state of mind. So, yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with that. It's just when I was reading the book the whole time, the way she talks, right? I felt she was realistic because, yes, okay, she doesn't know Bahman very well, but as someone who has a close bond with her sister, wherein there were many instances where Roya talks about how they keep talking to each other. They go into details about
Hmm.
their meetings with significant others and what happened in their day. So they talk a lot, right? So I
Hmm.
feel like
right.
Hmm.
everything Zari is coming from is not just a protective sister, but also a sense of foreshadowing of what's going to happen. Like she recognizes that in the because I'm not sure if she's the one who said this dialogue, but there's one dialogue in the book wherein it says, it's difficult to love someone who's already in love with politics.
Yeah,
So I feel like Zari recognizes how difficult Roya's life could be if she and
correct.
Bahman were together, because not only does politics matter a lot to him, but he's also very connected to his family and not being able to stand against his mother. So
Right.
having seen all of this, I feel like Zari comes from a more realistic point of view wherein she doesn't want her sister to be hurt.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
Makes sense,
So
like,
that's
though.
how I read it. And because I personally, like in my own life, enjoy it when friends and siblings and people are blunt,
yeah,
because there's
Hmm.
that sense of formality of trying to be nice or trying to be superficially comforting someone
right.
is not there, right? So I like that in people. That's why I felt like
Yeah,
even from the very beginning, the way Zari is not just herself but with Roya, I like that.
yeah.
Hmm.
No, I agree with that. But my thing is, and we didn't discuss this before, but like with Bahman and Roya, I feel that like we spoke about a little bit about how like Bahman didn't stand for his love because like he
Hmm.
he listened to his mom. But
Hmm.
I have a feeling that if he had not got that letter from Roya saying that I don't want to see you, like if he still
Mhm.
felt that Roya wanted to be with him, he
Hmm.
would
He would
have
have.
stood up against his mom and his
Yes.
family for Roya.
Agree.
अरे पर उसके पहले, like when he goes away, he admits that he knew Jahangir was in love with him. He put the whole responsibility of communicating with Roya on
Yeah,
Jahangir, which is like a third
yeah,
person, right? In a
yeah,
relationship, things become difficult when you keep adding more people into the relation who do work for you, right? So
yeah,
communication is of utmost importance between two people who are supposed to be a couple.
yeah,
So that is where I felt very lacking. Like he took it so easily that he's like, "Ha, Jahangir baat kar lega. Ha, my mom is threatening me, or Mr. Fakir will bring me letters from her." There are way too many people involved here.
That's
So
yeah.
that's why
But
I felt like he didn't take it seriously.
but his mom had not threatened him then. The
No,
reason
this
why
is
they left
after.
is because the reason why they left was the mom had threatened to kill her, like she'd almost killed
nice.
herself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wherever, not here. She
Yeah.
had
हाँ, no,
almost
I
killed
meant
herself.
नहीं जाने के बाद, वहां जाने के बाद he decides no how to, he tries to contact her, and then his mom is like don't do it, so then he tells Jahangir ki, like,
Acha,
you be
okay,
the
okay,
middle.
okay, okay. Ha. Correct. Or like
That
write
moment.
letters, basically. But he does take the decision to marry her. And then, I mean, of course, they don't meet
Yeah.
or whatever. So I don't think it was that. So that's why I felt that Zari was a little too harsh on him because I really did think that he wanted to marry
Hmm.
Roya.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like it was just all these misunderstandings or whatever. Like that's
Yeah,
why
a
I,
lot of them.
yeah, I felt that she was too harsh on Babman. And they were only 17. We keep forgetting that also. Like
And Zari
they
was
were
younger
only
also.
17. Correct. And she was 16.
Yeah.
So
So maybe it could
yeah.
have been dialed down a little. I mean, bluntness
Correct.
and all is like maybe
Yeah.
that's what Roya also needed at that time. But then again, it was like be blunt, but don't be so harsh. Like the words that Zari used, it was like I was feeling physically. It was like they were piercing me physically. So
Yeah.
I
Correct.
felt bad on that level that
Same.
she was ta- taking it to such an extent.
Correct.
She
Yeah.
could be honest. She could maybe speculate with her sister,
हाँ हाँ.
uh, that maybe this is why he didn't come, or maybe this is why it didn't
Correct.
happen. But to say that I told you this is a wrong decision, I
Yeah.
told you this was going to be wrong for you. Uh,
Yeah.
Finger pointing was
Yeah.
that made her
हाँ हाँ.
annoying. Yeah.
Correct. Same for me
Hmm.
also.
Otherwise, it was Shazari is a great, like even during that
Yeah.
time, even if she was doing the finger pointing and even if she was like saying those things during, she was still supportive. It's not like she
Correct.
wasn't supportive, but
Mm-mm.
this all of this thing that she was saying, these pockets of things, that made her a little
Could
annoying.
have been said
That's what.
better.
Yeah. Worded better,
Correct.
especially because Roya was going through something at that time. It was
Mm-mm.
huge.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
maybe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're going to do like two more points now before we jump into the giveaway.
Yeah.
So there was one very interesting thing that we wanted to talk about, which was
Mhm.
the allegory between Roya and Bahman's love story and their connection to Iranian politics.
Hmm.
Um, Sonali, what did you think about this? I think you
This
had a
book,
very interesting observation
yeah.
about this.
So what exactly struck me was that it was like Iranian politics has never been in seclusion. Like it has been, at least during 1953, it was influenced by outer forces like the US and UK and the CIA getting involved in that whole mob and
Yeah,
ousting the prime minister, and and even Roya and Baman's love story is never in seclusion. If you see the whole thing, someone or the other is playing a hand in their love story. Be it Mr. Fakri, who's allowing them to be together in the stationery shop, or
Yeah.
then later who when Baman's mother is coming, uh, you know, coming in to actually plot out how the love story is going to be or not be,
Yeah.
and to pull them apart. It was just like uh, 1953, the country being pulled apart, and
Yeah.
Roya and Baman being pulled apart is like a reflection of each other. And even later, when Roya meets Baman, it's because of someone else.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
I feel like the larger picture and the smaller picture are just similar with different actors
Yeah.
in them. So the larger picture has the Shah, has the Prime Minister
Prime
Mossadegh,
Minister.
and you have the US, UK, and in one letter that Baman never got to send to Roya, Baman is literally saying, "Ki I hate that your country's CIA." By that time, Roya is in
Correct.
America. He says
Yeah.
that I hate that CIA thought it right to interfere in Iranian politics
Yeah.
and to have that done, to interfere and have so many people killed during
Yeah.
those times. So I
Yeah.
feel like it's very interesting to see these two mapped out like this.
Yeah.
And yeah, what do you guys think about it? Like this,
Yeah.
we could have a long
I didn't
discussion about this actually. Yeah.
I didn't actually make that connection until you
Hmm.
said it. But yeah, it's super interesting to see how, like, because politics firstly does play a huge role in their love story in the beginning,
Hmm.
and then to see the parallels between outside interference with the country and with their
Hmm.
love story was just, I don't know, it was just very, very interesting. And like you could say like the that he hated the CIA for interfering in Iranian politics, like that you can hate Mrs. Aslan for what she did
Exactly. Yeah.
to their love story.
Hmm.
So it was a very, very interesting correlation, I felt, to
Hmm.
think of it that way, about how everything that happened to them was actually because of an outsider rather than
Correct.
actual issues within themselves
Correct.
and their love story.
Hmm.
And yeah, like honestly, also because it was the 1950s and you had to rely on letters for communication.
Yes.
Imagine if it was now, it's just like one WhatsApp and you clear up everything.
Yes.
And there are still misunderstandings that happen in relationships today, which is like how with all the
There
technology
can
that
be
you
ways,
have
I think.
now,
I think
you
humans
can
will always
still
find
have
a way to do that.
to have
Letters can be,
misunderstandings though.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like letters could be manipulated, then people can be
Correct.
manipulated now. So,
Exactly.
Mm.
So yeah, that was just
totally
very
agree.
interesting. What did
Yeah.
you think, Meera?
Um, the connection I made is that just like there were three forces vying for power in Iran, like the communists, the Shah's people, and the prime minister and his Democratic Party,
Hmm.
I feel like there were very three significant forces shaping, vying for power, trying to break apart Roya and Bahman's relationship, which is
Hmm.
Yeah.
Shahla, Mrs. Aslan, and Mr. Fakhri. So
Yeah.
I feel like these three signify what's really happening in and within Iran too, because
Yeah.
some of them want the better, like some of them want Roya and Bah relationship to thrive, some don't. Similarly, the same with Iran and the parties that were vying for power. Some
Correct.
were doing it for the good of the people of Iran. Some were doing it for themselves,
Yeah.
Correct.
right? Of the greed and bitterness and uh, the wounds that they've been harboring all their life.
Hmm.
So that's the
Mm.
connection I formed between these two.
That's true.
Correct. Yeah.
And it's also interesting to see, like when Roya goes to the, what is it called, the communal bath.
Mm.
She goes there, and it was really
Hmm.
interesting to see that it's a reflection of society, that three people with different ideologies can
Correct.
exist doing the exact same thing. So you
Exactly.
Ah.
there's it just, I don't know why it sent chills down my spine,
Yeah.
just reading that. It was nothing very spectacular or anything, but just
Yeah.
to see one person say support the communists, one person
Yeah.
say something in support of the Shah, and one
Yeah.
person says something in support of the prime minister, it was
Yeah.
it was great to see, because that it was like a micro picture of the whole map of Iran,
Correct.
and maybe another reflection of how the world also works, in its way
Yeah.
that you can have different people living in harmony with different ideologies. So
Correct.
that was it. Is it called a hammam? Hammam. I don't know how it's pronounced.
In Turkey, it's called a hammam. I don't know if in
Hammam.
Iran it's the same.
No, that's the word that was used.
Hammam. Okay.
I'm
Yeah. Then
I'm
hammam.
sure.
Then
Yeah,
hammam.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting to read. Even
Yeah.
though it didn't give out many political connotations except for a few dialogues here and there, but that one
Yeah.
page, it
Yeah.
made so much sense in the bigger picture as well. So
Correct.
she's done a
Yeah.
great job, man. Like
Yeah.
the author,
The melding of
mm,
politics with how it affects
the
lives
common people. Yes,
was dealt with really well in
mm, that's
this
true.
book. Yeah. So,
Mm.
okay, let's do the last one before we go on to the giveaway, which I know everyone is waiting for. And that is, what part of the book made you most emotional and why? Just one. Just name one thing that made you the most emotional. Because this is a very, very emotional book.
Um,
Sonali?
yeah, the emotion I'm going to go with is anger,
Okay.
and and that is when I realized that Mrs. Aslan was the force behind, uh, this whole thing happening to Roya and Baman. And it
Yeah.
was not towards the end. It was at the point where she calls up Roya's house and she says that. Baman doesn't want to talk to you. He's getting married, and the
Yeah.
chirpiness in her voice, like I imagined this whole Komolika kind of feel to her when I was reading that, and I got so angry that someone can be so hateful and vengeful.
Yeah.
I mean, okay,
Yeah.
the whole mental health thing and all, it was half explained by that time, but
Yeah.
then again, at that point in time, to see someone be so blasé about her her son's life, and to be so happy at having snatched away something that was guaranteed to give him so much happiness,
Yeah.
and to then put it out into the world is this picture of being protective, like I want what's best for my son, and
Mm.
that's why I'm doing all of this, and I'm the I'm a mother, I want what's best for my son and all of that. That
Yeah.
misleading of everyone in their lives, that made me angrier than ever across the whole book. And yeah,
Yeah.
emotional as in sad, there were many, like
Yeah.
when Roya
There were
realizes
many,
that he's
many
not
correct.
coming,
Yeah.
and when she realizes that, when she reads Baman's obviously very fake letter, manipulated letter, that he
Yeah.
he doesn't want to do anything with her after that. Like, I don't think we are giving each other. We rushed into this and all of that. That particular point where she goes all numb, that
Yeah.
filled me up. Like,
Yeah.
I felt so bad for her. It was obvious that there was something else in play, but we don't know what it was by that point.
Correct.
Uh, and yeah, so that those are two things that made me super super emotional in different ways, like not just one.
Yeah. Mira, the one thing that made you most emotional.
Were about two to three very distinct scenes, but the one I'd pick is her rushing over to the hospital when Claire tells her that, like, you should come now if you can.
Hmm.
That from that point onwards, till like she is snuggled up in bed with him, I was like, no, please. like as a reader, you're aware that there are people who have led such eventful and rich lives, like they're
Yeah.
77 years old. So it's
Yeah.
not something that's out of this mind or unthinkable,
Yeah.
but still, for everything they've been through to come to that one point in where their journeys coincide, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So that was the most emotional scene for me.
Mm.
And I feel like, as we were talking about it, you can also draw this parallel between Walter being in this relationship wherein he goes and does so much for his partner, but the same thing is not reciprocated. I feel like that also relates to like Mr. Aslan, because they mentioned that
Yeah,
he did love Mrs. Aslan and he
That's
does
so
yeah,
true.
whatever
that's so
Yeah.
he
true.
can
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
comfort her, to give her solace, but it never really clicks. And so I felt bad for
Correct.
him
Wow.
also. I mean, this is
Yeah,
unrelated, but yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
Emotional
totally
scene
I
at the
agree.
last scene.
agree. I agree completely. I also felt really bad for Mr. Aslan a lot.
He's so into the background usually that he's not
Correct.
the
Ah,
first character you think of
Exactly.
when,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
really sad because he's done
Yeah,
so much along with Baman. He's done so much for his wife,
correct.
and
yeah.
yeah, until you pointed
To
it
be
out, I was
there.
like, yeah,
Yeah,
to actually care for her during her mental
yeah.
health, episodes.
Yeah.
Episodes. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
And that's not easy
it's
when you
not
know that all your life they've not been reciprocating it back.
Correct.
correct. Agreed.
Exactly.
Wow, this realize that this just Mira what she just said. I just went like, shit.
Yeah,
Yes, it's a
yeah,
revelation. That's
exactly.
true.
Yeah. There's a lot of layers in this book that you can keep
Mm,
Exactly.
peeling,
Yeah.
peeling
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And
oh, so beautiful.
yeah.
It's an onion.
Yeah.
If there are layers, it will also make you cry. Wow.
Yeah.
Exactly. So my most emotional part, like surprisingly, had nothing to do with Baman or Roya.
Hmm.
But it's quite random. But the one that made me like cry the most was just when she loses Marigold, and like she's basically given up on just happiness in general, and then that one act of like love that is shown by her sister-in-law, like that just like really made me cry, especially because like her sister-in-law was not like, like clearly she wasn't for her and Walter getting married, and
Correct.
then when her sister-in-law says sorry, like I don't know, I lost it at
Yeah.
that time. Like when
Agree.
she
Yeah.
apologizes for
Agree.
everything that she has done to Roya, and like she accepts her mistakes, and then she does something like, and also because the sister-in-law never like accepted Persian culture or whatever, like she would make comments like, oh, should I make a roast for you instead of whatever Persian
Yes.
food that like Roya had made, and then for her to get like make the effort to like get those things which were for like, Persian New Year or whatever, like for her to do that, like I don't know, it's just like it touched my heart on another level.
That was
Like
my
I
second
loved it.
scene.
So
Agree.
Crazy.
Agree.
I just like I lost it in that scene.
Hmm.
It was just
That's true.
too touching. Like
I
that
think I
touched me
wrote down in
more.
my
Plus,
notebook
this
also.
also with
Like I was like, oh,
it
Patricia
marks this
did this.
whole
What the hell? Why would she have to?
Yeah.
Hmm.
this I really dislike seeing girl on girl hate in books. Like that pisses me
Yes.
off a lot. So up
Same.
until that point, I was like,
Same.
why? Like, why can't
Yeah.
you just like at least
Accept.
come to terms with each other?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when that
Yeah.
happens, I was like, no.
No.
Even I was just like,
You don't have
oh
to
my
love each other.
God.
At least accept the
Yeah.
fact that
Exactly.
he's there.
Exactly.
But you know what?
Hmm.
I am really happy that Patricia came around and that
Yeah.
she accepted Roya into her life. But
Yeah.
for it to happen, such a huge thing needed to have happened. Like losing her
Yeah.
brother's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
child
Correct.
should not have been the thing that
Catalyst.
yeah
The
catalyst to
catalyst. Yeah. Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
make her realize that oh Roya is also another human with a different
Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
culture.
Yeah. 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 I
So
agree.
that
I agree.
I'm a little salty about, but
Yeah. I
other
agree
than
with
that
you.
I
Yeah.
that made me really emotional, like to
Yeah.
bring about such a huge change in a human.
Yeah.
Okay, it
The
whatever
catalyst. Yeah.
happened, whatever the catalyst, at least she changed, at least she
Yeah.
changed for the better, so that's there.
Correct.
But oh yeah.
Yeah. Correct. Okay. So with that, it is now time for what all of you have been waiting for, which is the giveaway quiz.
Yay!
Yay! So we're gonna ask you guys 6 questions, I think it is, and it's all
Yes.
about the stationery shop of Tehran. So if you guys have read the book and have read it carefully, then you should be able to answer all of these questions. So they will just be questions, and you guys will have to write the closest answer to that question in the comments below. Remember that we will take your first answer that you have written. So think about it. You're going to get 30 seconds to answer the question, and you basically the first answer that you write is the one that we will consider correct. So if you change your answer afterwards, that it'll still be considered wrong if your first thing that you type is wrong. So yep, those are the rules, and we will put up the question on screen, and then after the question is put up, after we read the question and the question is put up, your time will start. Can one of you do the timer right for this one? If you have.
You want to do it,
Sonali?
Meera?
Yeah.
Okay, so Meera will
Meera, I'll
do
do
the
it.
timer, 30 seconds. So, okay, your first question is, all right, your first question is everyone ready? I hope you guys are ready. First question, which movie do Roya and Bahman watch at the cinema Metropole? And your time starts now. Which movie do Roya and Bahman watch at the cinema Metropole?
Even I
Your
went.
timer.
Yeah.
Your time is going, people. You can start answering.
Hello.
Hello.
Excuse me.
You guys can start answering. Nobody knows the answer to this?
Let's give them another 10 seconds.
Yeah, we'll give you
This
another
is a
15
difficult one.
seconds. We'll
Yeah,
give you another
15
15
seconds.
seconds. Does anyone know the answer?
Take a guess, maybe, if you
Yeah.
don't know it.
Time's up.
Okay, time's
15.
up.
Okay. It's okay.
Okay, nobody answered this one. Okay, the next one is, what was the name of the cafe that Roya and Bahman frequented? What was the name of the cafe that they went to in Tehran? And your time starts now. What was the name of the cafe that they went to
This is actually.
in Tehran?
Hello.
What was the name of the cafe?
They got the first question answer
Why
now.
are you guys answering the first question? Second
Time's up.
question.
Second question, time's up.
Okay. Where is everyone? Why aren't you guys playing? Okay, we're going to give you 10 more seconds, people. Type in the answer. 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Done.
4,
Over.
3, 2, 1. Okay, time's up. Is there a lag that's going? I mean, is there a lag? Because people are still answering the first question.
There's no people.
There's no lag.
Is there a lag? Because there were quite a few people who answered the first question.
No, I don't think so, because there was
Yeah.
one who answered the second question and then came back to answer the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's.
Okay, there's no lag. All right, so then let us continue.
Yeah.
Your next question is, what ingredient does Roya replace while cooking the khoresh e badamjan for Walter?
Okay.
So the first dish that she cooks for Walter, she replaces one ingredient. What was that ingredient that she replaces? And your time starts now. What is the ingredient that she replaces? There is one thing that she replaces. Come on, come on.
Done. Time's up.
Okay.
So
And
someone said
your
there's a lag in my brain. Shaurya is like,
okay, your time is up. That is it. Okay. The next question is, at what squares were Roya and Bahman waiting for each other before they were meant to be married? So name both the squares that they were waiting at, okay? And your time starts now. What was the name of both the squares that they were waiting at? If you guess even one, you get half the point. So try to name both, but if you know one, then you still get half the point.
Shaurya, yaar.
Okay.
Time's up.
All right. Okay. Time is up for that. The next one is, how does Patricia extend her solidarity to Roya? We just spoke about this. Clue
Yes.
for all of you. We literally just spoke about this. So, how does Patricia extend her solidarity to Roya? Mention the action that she takes. Okay, ready? And your time starts now. Okay. Yes, keep typing. Keep
5
typing.
seconds
Keep
more,
typing.
guys.
3, 2, 1. And your time is up.
Done.
Time is up. हो गया.
Yes. Okay. Great. And the last question is, what are the names of Zari's children? What are the names of Zari's children? Again, if you guess just one, you get half the points. You can try to name both, but if you get one, you get half the points. And your time starts now. Yes, next time take notes for the giveaway.
Or just write down, okay, the list of characters and places.
Correct.
Oh, but next is going to be
10 seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Time is up. Okay, that is it. That is it. Your time is up. Like we said, there are three, right? Three people get Project Hail Mary. Yes,
Yeah.
three lucky winners are going to get a chance to win Project Hail Mary. So, out of you, the three people who have answered most questions correctly get a chance to win. So, don't lose hope, because not a lot of people actually got a lot of answers in before time was up. So,
Yeah.
you guys might still have a chance to win. The people who are saying ki Project Hail Mary gaya haath se, you might still have a chance to win, because a lot of people answered correctly, but not before time. So, yes, just stay tuned. We will be announcing the winners in a few days after we can tally everything. And yes, with that, our Bookbound Club live show has come to an end. Like we have said, yay! Like we said, the next book for Bookbound Club is Project Hail Mary itself, which is the giveaway book. So please, I mean, you can wait until the results of the giveaway, but after that, please buy the book and read it so that you can join in. We will let you know the date of that live show in a few days as well
Yep.
through a post, and it's going to be happening on Sonali's channel. So we've kind of like come full circle, I
Yes.
feel, because Percy Jackson, which was the first Bookbound Club book pick, was on Sonali's channel, and now we have Project Hail Mary, which is also going to be on Sonali's channel.
Yes.
So
I'll
stay
do. I'll
tuned.
go all Tulsi. Please come. Please join.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yes, that is it for this show. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope all of you also had fun interacting with us and getting a chance to come on the live show. We will definitely be doing more of that in the future because I think all of us had a great time doing it.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
Agree.
But yes, that is it for today's show. I hope you all enjoyed. We'll announce the giveaway winner soon.
Soon.
Subscribe to Meera and Sonali if you haven't already. Like, what are you guys doing? Subscribe to all of us. And we will see you next time for another Bookbound Club live show.
Thanks for tuning in,
Bye. Thank
guys.
you. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Good night. Yes.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.